If you've been telling yourself, I know I need to exercise, but I just don't have time or the energy or the motivation right now, then this video is for you. Because after 40, movement doesn't have to mean long, intense, punishing workouts. Today, I'm here with Christine Miller, personal trainer and menopause specialist, and we're going to be talking about how even 10 minutes of the right kind of movement can help you start building strength and consistency and energy and confidence without the all or nothing pressure. And then Christine is actually going to walk us through a simple 10-minute workout that you can do from home. So stick around. All right, so like I said, Christine is a personal trainer and a menopause specialist, and tonight we're talking about something I know so many women need. I hear this all the time. I know I need to exercise, but I don't have time. I'm too tired. I don't know what actually works anymore. I start, but I can't stay consistent. So tonight we're going to talk about how even 10 minutes actually can matter and how maybe thinking a little bit differently about the movement is going to help you. So let's get started. Can you start us off by explaining why movement and strength training becomes so important for women over 40, especially during perimenopause and menopause?
Absolutely. So the reason that things kind of change when you start going through peri and postmenopause and you start to lose muscle mass. So every decade after 30, you lose about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass. And muscle mass actually equals metabolism, and it equals bone density, and it equals longevity. So if you are doing nothing to promote keeping that muscle or building that muscle, then you are slowly declining through those decades. And nobody wants that, right? We're living longer now and we want to live long, healthy lifespans, not like health spans, not just lifespans, right? Like we want to be healthy and independent and able to do things on our own. So strength training becomes super important, especially after 30, 40, 50, because if you're not using it, you're losing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what I run into when I'm talking to a lot of women is that they're thinking of exercise as just a way to burn calories. How would you reframe that for women listening?
For so many years we've been told, you exercise to burn off like what you ate, or I ate this so I have to punish myself tomorrow and like burn this off, or if you're not like sweating through every single one of your workouts, you didn't work hard enough. And like we've kind of always had this like hustle, like diet culture, mentality. So I think it's hard for us to kind of step back and reframe that and say, like, is this actually like what my body needs right now? And it's not just the calories in, calories out. Yes, that's one piece of data, but it's not like the whole picture. After 40s, we need to look at sleep. We need to look at stress levels. We need to look at how our body is actually responding and recovering to the things that we're doing. And if what we're doing is actually moving us forward or taking us back. So, it's not just about burning calories. Yes, you burn calories when you work out. Yes, when you add muscle, that burns calories. But that's not the overall thing that we need to think about. The overall thing is that we want to take care of our bodies and do what our bodies are asking us to do. If your body is feeling pain in that moment, that's not the movement that you should be doing, right? Like
Yeah.
you should want to move and you should want to do things that feel good in your body. And maybe you're not an athlete, or maybe you're not prone to working out. Maybe this is like the first time you're actually thinking about doing strength training and you're a beginner. This is just like something that you need to ease yourself into and do things that actually feel good in your body. And, you know, maybe you don't love it at first. Maybe it's something that you know, say, okay, like I know this is something that I should do because, you know, I'm aging and I want to be healthy and I want to be independent. So maybe in the beginning, you turn on some music that you love or listen to an audiobook or a podcast or something that's enjoyable so that you associate the movement with something fun and that you look forward to. And you don't have to make it this punishing, long, extreme workout. You can do a few moves and call it a day.
Right. Yeah, it's a bit of a reframe for a lot of women because
Yeah.
like so many of them are just focused on like burning calories in order to be able to eat something that maybe they want. So a lot of reframes that I'm hearing. And I've heard it said, and I don't know if I have this quite right, but like we're not exactly looking for a smaller body. We're looking for a stronger, healthier body for the longevity
Yes,
that you were talking about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about if you're just somebody's feeling too tired to work out?
The thing that I ask my clients when they come to me and say, oh, like it's been a rough week, I feel tired, I'm fatigued all the time. I ask them, like, what kind of tired? Like, was it because you didn't sleep well this week? Was it because you sat at your desk a lot and you just kind of like, you know how when you sit, you just kind of feel lazy when you get home. Like if you don't
Right.
move, like non-movement breeds more non-movement, I feel like.
Yes.
Or is it that you're stressed or like mentally drained, emotionally drained? Or is your body actually physically tired? Because all of those things require different responses, right? Like if you're stressed, maybe go for a walk to process your feelings or ask a friend to join you so that you can talk it out. If you feel like you're like really tight and just like, oh, like some mobility or strength training or, you know, some stretching might help with that. If you're just, you know, feeling like you need to get out like some frustration, that's a good opportunity to go all in on your strength training because your body like needs that outlet. So sometimes movement is like the exact medicine for your body. And then sometimes you are actually physically exhausted and it would be better if you just rested, like when you're recovering from an illness or an injury or did too much the day before in a workout and didn't sleep at night, you know, like and sometimes things pile up and it's like a lot of reasons why you feel tired. So every instance requires a bit of a different response. It's like giving the right dose of medicine, right? Like if you have too much, your body goes a little bit wonky. If you don't have enough, then it doesn't quite work and it's not effective. So you kind of have to play with how you move.
Yeah. So a lot of it is listening to your body and
Absolutely.
paying attention to what your body actually needs. Yeah.
And I think that as women, like we tend to we take care of other people and forget our own needs. So we tend to just like not listen.
Yes.
And this is the time of life where you really have to kind of take that step back and say, okay, like what does my body actually need in this
Mhm.
moment? Because we're so used to not paying attention to it. Like I can't tell you how many years I just like overdid things. And when perimenopause finally hit, my body was just like screaming at me, like, you need to listen now. Right? So if you start to
Yeah.
listen to the whispers when they're beginning, then you can kind of avoid some of that like shouting that your body does later.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that makes it very difficult to hear those messages from our body is the messages we get from diet culture, which
Yeah.
is all about like go, 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 push harder, use more willpower, try harder, you're not doing it good enough. And so then we don't know when we're supposed to listen and when we're supposed to push harder.
Right. Right. Yep.
Now, as far as like pushing harder goes, does walking actually count as movement?
Absolutely. Walking is the foundation. I think that walking is something that you can do every day. Like, I don't think that you could do too much walking. And it's actually so good for you in so many different ways. It's a great stress reliever. If you get out in like the morning sunlight, it helps sets your circadian rhythm. That one was huge for me after working nights. Like that was like something huge. You can do it alone, you can do it with friends, you don't need equipment, indoors, outdoors, like it's so accessible to anybody and everybody. And it's great for your heart, mood, cardiovascular, like I said heart, but all of those things. There's so many benefits to it. And I think that it's underutilized, I think.
Yeah, walking is such a beautiful thing. I've noticed a change in my own body composition from walking, and I think it's because that it really supports my nervous system. It brings down the stress, and stress is one of the things that creates more belly fat. So
Yes,
I think,
absolutely.
yeah, walking is amazing. Now, what about this idea? Because tonight we're here talking about 10-minute workouts. Is this something, I mean, can you actually lose weight with a 10-minute workout?
If you do it consistently, absolutely. Anything that you do consistently can get you to that goal. One 10-minute workout isn't like the magic bullet, just like one like clean eating meal or well-balanced plate isn't going to help you lose weight. It's the small things that you do on a regular basis. So if you did 10 minutes versus 0 minutes, 3 times a week for a year, like that's huge. That's like a lot more minutes than you were at before. So, like we get caught up, like you mentioned earlier, in that like all or nothing thinking. Like if you can't get a 30-minute or a 45-minute, like I don't know. I used to do hour workouts religiously, and that is not what I do anymore. Like that just does not fit in with what my body can handle, one, and two, with the other time constraints that I have. If I lived up to that expectation, like it would just never be happening. And when I broke it down into smaller pieces, and when I do that with my clients, it's the workout that they keep coming back to because it's easier to fit into their schedule, and they actually enjoy it because they can say, okay, 10 minutes, press play, get it done and over, and that's it. And even if you're not an avid fan of working out, I think you will be once you start and start to feel the changes and feel that confidence boost and start to see the muscle definition. I think you become that. But if you're not in the beginning, like I said before, make it fun. Do it with a friend, get an accountability buddy, add music, add a podcast, whatever it is that you need to do to get you in there. The workout that you're going to come back to is the workout that's going to get you results. So if 10 minutes is it, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to just reinforce this whole 10-minute idea because another thing I think that happens is it provides that identity shift. It
Yes.
changes your mindset. So like for me, if I get up and do a 10-minute workout, then now I'm a person who is taking care of my body. I'm a person who is caring about my health. And I take that mindset into the rest of the day with me. And it can
Absolutely.
affect the rest of the choices you make throughout the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've mentioned this before. I know we've talked about it on these kind of calls and just the two of us, but even on the days where you don't feel like doing the workout, if you just give yourself permission to say, okay, I'm just going to set my timer for 5 minutes, and whatever I get done, I get done. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to be a certain thing. I'm just going to do something for 5 minutes. And then you start doing it, and then 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes, 10 minutes turns into 15. And before you know it, like you've got your whole workout done. And I just think that sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves saying we have to do something. You don't have to make it look a certain way. You can just do what your body is telling you should do today.
Yeah, that's a big one for me because I know I feel the resistance when I tell myself I need to go work out for 30 minutes or an hour. That's when all the excuses, all the reasons why I don't have that time or I don't feel like it, that's when all of those come up. But if it's just a 10-minute workout, that's pretty hard to say no to. So it's more likely that I'm going to get it done. It's more likely that now that mindset shift is going to happen for the rest of the day. And it's more likely that I'm going to stay consistent with it, which then gets me results. So yeah, I think that
Absolutely.
it's almost like there's magic in these 10-minute workouts. Even though maybe
Yeah.
the 10-minute workout isn't the exact thing that causes the weight loss, it's the trigger, it's the domino. There's,
Yes.
there's so many things.
Yeah.
Um, now, what would you say to somebody, and maybe you've already covered this, so I'll ask you anyway, just to make sure. What if somebody says to you, I hate exercising?
Yeah. I get that a lot. Like, people either come to me because they love to work out and they just can't figure out like the perimenopause thing, or they come to me because they hate working out and they just need to know like what they can do to like overcome that. And I actually think it's pretty fun to work with those people because I changed their mind, you know? I had one girl that I went to college with who came to me and said, Chrissy, I don't like to work out. Like, what can I do? And I just showed her like the small, quick workouts. And she's like, I actually feel strong and I feel like I can get this done. It feels doable. I don't feel stressed about it. My body is recovering well. I'm sleeping good. And so she saw the benefits pretty early on. And it just, I mean, she's been a client for over a year and she is like a star client. She does her workouts regularly, she checks in regularly, and it's become something that she really truly enjoys. And we talked about, the things you can do, accountability buddy, grabbing some sort of partner, even if it's not someone who's working out with you, someone you can chat with and say, okay, I did this many workouts this week, this was my goal, this is how many I got in, and have somebody that you bounce things back and forth on so that you get that community and that accountability. And then, adding music, just making things fun so that you can go back to, it doesn't have to always be strength training. If you had a sport that you played, if you like pickleball, tennis, I like to dance. So taking a dance class, I used to take an adult tap class, loved it. That was like my favorite thing I did all week. And those kinds of things make a difference. You're moving and you're happy and stress free and it's fun.
Yeah. And even like gardening counts. We're in the summer
Yes.
right now here in New England.
Yes.
So
If you like to
absolutely.
hike, like anything can count.
And I will give a testimony here because I have been doing, I've done all kinds of workouts in the past. I've done long ones, I've done CrossFit, I've done aerobics classes. And I started Christine's 10 or 15 minute workouts back in like February. So now we're talking like 6 months ago or something.
Yeah.
And in my busy life, I run a business, I homeschool 3 kids, I'm wife and mom, and I, do all the things. It's very hard for me to fit in a long workout, and my brain starts to push back if I ask it to do anything more. So I've been doing these 15-minute workouts for months now. And I absolutely 100% see the changes in my body composition and my strength, and just my confidence in knowing that I can be consistent with something. So I don't think that I have missed a workout since starting to do these with Christine, months and months ago, because they're so doable. And I think that's important for us in perimenopause. It's really important to get that strength movement in, that for our bone health, for our nervous system, for all the things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
now, all right, what if somebody is a beginner and they're thinking, all right, but do I need to go get a set of weights? Do I need to buy equipment?
I mean, eventually you might want to, but you can also start with body weight. So everything that I'm doing tonight in the 10-minute workout is just body weight exercises, and there'll be modifications. So, you might not start an exercise at a certain level, and that's okay. You just work on you know, you meet yourself where you're at and you work on each move based on what your body can do in this moment. Now, does that mean that that's where you'll be forever? No. The more you work at something, the better you get at it, and you might want to start like adding some weight. And an inexpensive option would be resistance bands. I think they can be bought on Amazon for like $20 for like 5 different bands, so that you can, you know, have different weight selections. They come with like an anchor, so they can put it over the door, do different exercises, and that would be one way to progress. And then you can start adding things like small dumbbells, which, you know, adding one set at a time wouldn't be too expensive, but down the line, it's something that like your body does adapt. So the things will start to become easy if you're just doing the 15 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes, and then you know, your body is like, okay, this feels easy now, and you want to continue building, then that's when you would start to add the weights. But as a beginner, just starting out, you can absolutely start with just body weight.
And another quick question for those that are just starting out. What about feeling sore? Do you have to feel sore in order to be getting results? And is that what they're looking for, is to feel sore?
Right. So, you know, no pain, no gain used to be like the old motto, right? You used to think that you had to like push yourself to that pain point to get the progress. Now, in the beginning, if you're not used to working out, you might overdo it and you might get a little sore. So the next day or 2 days after, some people get it the next day. Some people, you know, it's a little bit extended. They get it the second day. But you know, like that's normal wear and tear and just like beginner learning curve kind of a thing. But once your body gets adapted to it and you're doing the workouts, unless you do something new or like add heavier weight or something different, you're probably not going to be sore all the time. And that's okay. Like the goal isn't to be sore at every workout. In the beginning, yes, you might feel some soreness, but you should be recovering. That's one of the things you watch out for, right? Like if your body did too much, you will feel it for longer than you're supposed to, right? So like a little bit on the next day or 2 days later is pretty normal for beginners. But if you're feeling like really sore and it lasts for like 2, 3 days, like that's a little bit too much. You overdid it.
Yeah, yeah. And so then how do you know if you're doing enough?
So there's a lot of things that you can watch for. So I feel like everybody's different, and it's a big, you know, puzzle that you have to kind of individually put together, you know, with you know, that's what I'm here for, feedback. But um you know, you watch things like sleep, energy afterward. If you're feeling constantly fatigued, those are signs that you are doing it a little bit overboard. And then if your sleep gets better, or you're feeling energized after the workout and you like want to do you know more, those are all signs that you're doing, you know, what you're supposed to do. Your body is making those adjustments and you're gaining muscle, or it maybe you can't see it yet, but you can lift, you know, heavier, or you can feel like not as winded, or you know, things just feel generally easier. So you'll know if you're tuning in and paying attention to the things that I mentioned, like sleeping, energy, things like that, like gains that you're making. Those are ways to know that, okay, I'm hitting my sweet spot here.
Awesome. All right. So if you're watching live or on the replay, just do what you can. We're gonna do some movement, but modify as you need and just listen to your body. You don't have to, you know, force yourself to do anything, and just
Yeah.
let Christine lead you through this.
Yeah.
And you can also just watch. So
Yeah, no problem. You know, if you're one that wants to see it first and then do it, that's fine. If you want to do it with me, I'm happy to have that too. And if you don't feel comfortable being on camera, you can absolutely turn off the camera if that's your concern. So we'll go ahead and I'll get started with a warm up, and then today I'm going to walk you through a quick like 2-minute warm up where we're going to do like 30 seconds of each move. And then I'll do 5 different exercises. It's going to be body weight exercises, so you don't need any equipment. If you have a wall nearby and you want to do that with me, that's fine. But normally I would talk more and demonstrate more, but because I'm trying to do 10 minutes, I'm going to go through things kind of quickly. So if there's questions afterward, I am happy to answer those questions and kind of go back. But I'm going to walk you through a full warm up, a full 5 exercises we'll do twice through for 30 seconds, and then a quick cool down. So I'm going to grab my timer here. If you see me with my phone, it's because I have to look at my timer, but I'm going to start with just some marching. So we're just going to march in place. You can swing your arms how they would naturally go. If you want to warm up your shoulders a little bit more, you can start to bring that swing a little higher with those arms. And as your body gets warm, you can pick up your knees a little higher. And we're gonna switch it to butt kickers. So we're gonna take our heels and bring it up to our bottoms and just swing the arms back and forth. Anytime you need a drink or anytime you need a modification, please go ahead and do what your body needs. We're gonna switch it up to arm circles. So we're just gonna start with small circles here, going in one direction. And as your arms get warm, those circles can get a little bigger, which means you might have to slow down a bit. And then we're gonna reverse those arms, starting small. And then those circles can get bigger and slower as the movement gets bigger. And for the last one, we're going to just start with little air squats. So you don't have to get down too deep yet, just kind of warming up that body. As you get warm, you can test the depth and go a little bit lower. We're sitting back, the weight is in those heels, and shake it out. The first move I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn you over here to my refrigerator. We are going to do a squat. So we're gonna sit against the wall and do a squat, and we're gonna do a pull down here. So we're working our back muscles and we're working our legs. If you do not have a wall, you can just sit and you can do this. So we're gonna go ahead. Let me get my timer set up here. I don't know why it's being funky. Stop, reset. Okay, we're gonna sit down, arms up, and pull down. Good. Keep breathing. Keep that core nice and tight. If you have knee issues, the wall squat is a good solution because it takes the pressure off those knees. You can press your back into the wall. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Shake it out. We are going to go into either a wall push-up or an incline push-up. So the wall push-up is going to be on the wall, hands flat. You're going to put the elbows down and up. Just keep going there. I hit the button, so it's not going. Down and up. If you're doing an incline push-up, it would be here, down and up. So using a bench or a sturdy chair against the wall. And rest. We are moving into reverse lunges with a knee drive. So I am taking a step back with my right leg and I'm coming up. So down and knee up. Down, knee up. You can go as slow as you need to, or as quick as you need to. Or I should say as you want to, because you don't really need to go fast, but keep breathing. You'll notice that, your balance, sometimes good, sometimes a little off. That's okay. Just keep noticing and shake it out. We'll do the other side on the second round. We're gonna come down on all fours into a bird dog position here. We're gonna do opposite arm and opposite leg. So we're gonna keep alternating. So squeeze those abs and keep breathing. And just work on that balance and that core. If you can't lift the arms and legs up too much, you can just practice alternating here, or you can just do arms or just do legs. Totally up to you. You can modify as you need to. And stop. We're going to do one last one, and it's going to be a lateral squat. So we're going to sit back like we did at the beginning. We're going to go side to side, side to side. And if this is a struggle because of bad knees, then you can take a seat on a chair and you can open and close, open and close. If you have a band to put around your legs, you can also do that. Side together, side together. And rest. Grab a quick drink. That was our first round. We're going to do the same thing one more time through. Since we're warm and we know the moves now, we're just going to go right through. So I'm going to go ahead and change directions here. I'm going to grab my wall and we're going to sit for 30 seconds and pull down. Our backs are flat against the wall and we're squeezing those shoulder blades and getting deep into that squat so that we feel those quads working. That's the top of our legs right here. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing. If your legs are shaking, that's okay. We're almost done. And come on up. Next move is going to be push-ups. I'm going to do mine here on the bench. You can do the wall. You can do your knees. You can do the floor. Whatever is comfortable for you. Whatever your body needs in this moment. Keeping a nice straight line from whatever part is on the floor, knees or toes, all the way up through your head. And rest. We are moving into reverse lunge with a knee drive. Time, left leg goes back and knee, back, knee. So the goal for a lunge is to get as deep as you can go that your body will allow based on ankle mobility, hip mobility, knee mobility, and rest. We're moving into our bird dog. So we are starting on all fours. You can do just arms, just legs, or full opposite arm and leg reach. Core is nice and tight. Imagine a glass on your back. It's setting on your back and it's full of water and you don't want to spill it. So we're keeping that torso nice and still. All right, last one, lateral squats. Come on up, side together, side together. You're doing great. Keep it up. Keep breathing. And rest. You made it. We're gonna do a quick cool down. Gonna take a big deep breath in. And an exhale. Big deep breath in. And exhale. Good. We're gonna roll that head around. You need to close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. Go for it. And reverse. Relax that neck. Swing those arms. Loosen up through the chest and the back. Go ahead and clasp the hands behind. Open up through that chest. This is a great one to kind of reverse that bad posture position. We need to stretch through that chest area, really open up wide. Now we're going to place our hands on our thighs. And we're going to round the back and tuck the chin. And we're going to arch and look up to the ceiling. And we're going to round and tuck the chin. And we're going to arch and look up at the ceiling. One more time. Round the back and arch and look up at the ceiling. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Now we're going to work a little bit on balance. We're going to step on one foot, trying to spread out the toes and equally put the weight on the big toe, the baby toe, and the heel, and then lift that leg. If you need a wall for balance, go ahead and grab the wall for balance. And then switch. And then switch again. Knee comes down, point to the floor, bring the knees together, and then squeeze your bottom and push that hip flexor forward. This is a great one. If you sit for long periods of time, it's a great stretch to do in the middle of a work day. Get up, stand behind your chair, and do some of these stretches. Last one, we're gonna crisscross and sit into it. If you need a little extra push, you can gently press your hand, your palm on your knee and get that turned out hip position. Work on that rotation and switch. All right. And that's it. 10 minutes. You're done. And I don't know about you, but I did sweat. It's also Florida and I'm in the garage, but
I feel like I'm sweating. It's also hot here too.
yeah.
I'm gonna turn my AC on soon enough. So
Questions? Is there anything else that you have, Lucy?
all right. No, that was amazing, Christine. Thank you so much for walking us through that. And I think it's a really good reminder that if you're a beginner, you're gonna feel this tomorrow. You're gonna,
Yes.
or whatever, 24 hours. So, all right. Let me see if I had any other questions for you.
There was one thing I did want to touch on that I didn't quite get to in the last section. So I know one of the members of your group, Amanda, was asking a question based on her, like having some medical issues and concerns about raising cortisol and how does she know like how much is too much and how much is not enough. And I did talk a little bit about that. But if you have specific medical conditions and you're working with healthcare professionals, it's a great idea to like talk to them and make sure that you're medically cleared for certain movement. I feel like, movement is important and definitely part of the recovery process, but you also need to, follow certain instructions for certain things. So she was mentioning something about some heart conditions. So if you've gotten the medical clearance for, strength training and you know what your limitations are, then that's great. Then we can kind of move forward and give you some guidelines to look out for. So things that you can watch for is if you're working out and you can still talk, you might be a little bit winded. Like right now, I'm talking, but like I'm a little bit winded. And that's okay. Like you can still hold a conversation. If you have to stop conversation, then you're probably pushing yourself a little bit too hard. That's more of a hit kind of a workout. And we don't necessarily need to do that, especially as beginners, you know, like you can do that for short periods of time. But if you're just beginning or you're fearing that, you know, you're going to spike your cortisol or complicate the heart issue or something, doing too much too fast, then that's a great way to kind of monitor. Also, you know, monitoring your energy. We talked about a good healthy workout will make you feel more energized, not completely depleted and wiped out. Yes, you might feel like jello-y in certain areas, like you're on leg day, your legs feel like jello, but after a shower and a meal, you feel good again and you feel ready for the day, you know? So if you're feeling completely like you're wiped out and you got to take a nap after, then maybe you went too hard. Also, watching the recovery time and sleep, those are big indicators. And if you ever have anything like sharp chest pain, dizziness, pain in your joint, or you know, anywhere, any kind of pain that's not like a good like burn, muscle burn, you know, then those are stop signs, you know, like you need to take a step back and kind of reevaluate, you know, what you're doing. But I think movement is healthy. I think movement is medicine. So, you know, don't have that fear. Just go through the right channels, talk to your doctors, listen to your body, and monitor, you know, the recovery period.
That sounds good. Good advice, Christine. And I'm just feeling that workout that we just did. And I'm thinking, imagine if you did this 10-minute workout every morning. Like, how would that set your day up? How would you feel for the rest of the day? Just 10 minutes of getting this movement in. So I just want to leave you guys with that question to ponder. And one more question that I think might come up in some people's minds is how often should they do this particular workout that we just did?
So if you're a complete beginner and you don't particularly love exercise, I would say 1 to 2 times a week is a starting point. And you know, we'll kind of get you a little bit more motivated and confident in the movements. And then eventually, ideally, I think doing 3 to 4 strength training sessions a week is something that you should aspire to eventually. I think doing 3 to 4 strength training sessions and then walking in between, stretching, mobility stuff, you know, recovery things in between. So I like to tell people, especially beginners, to space out their strength training. So maybe not back to back days, you know, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe like a Sunday if you're doing one, you know, like there might be some overlap, but if you do like we just did a full body, so you're not like really, you know, pushing on one certain body part. So if you do like 3 to 4 total body, then you're not like emphasizing one muscle group and really tiring that one muscle group out. So, you know, there's different thoughts and there's different ways to approach it. Some people do like splits where they separate the upper body, the lower body, and then a full body or something like that. But, you know, if you're just starting out, I would keep it simple. 1 to 2 full body workouts for 10 minutes, and that'll get you started.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. And where's the best place for people to find you and your workouts?
So I have a free school community, just like Lucy. Mine is called Small Daily Habits. So Lucy, if you want to drop the link in the chat, then you can just join the group. I will approve you to come in. There's a couple questions that you answer just so I kind of know like what you're looking for in the group, and I can kind of help you with that and guide you to the places to go. And yeah, that's probably the easiest way. That's where I'm the most active.
Yeah. Yeah, I will make sure to have that link too in the description of this video for the replay. All All right, Christine, I think that's everything I had for you for tonight. I just really appreciate your time. I appreciate you
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
here and your expertise and cheering us on as we go on our journey with our little 10-minute, 10, 15-minute workouts.
Yeah,
They really work.
absolutely.
I'm a big fan.
Mhm.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight, and we will see you in the community. I put the link to Christine's community in the chat if you're not already there, and I will see you guys later.
All right, bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.